and trees.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop without Jeff. Yo, what's happening, Angel? You hear me now?
What's up?
Okay, I couldn't. All right, just want to make sure. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
All
I
right,
was
cool,
hearing the music.
cool.
That's all.
All right. Oh, you're listening to music while we're doing the show?
Alex, you were way ahead of schedule. Like you were talking while the music and the video was going. I don't know why.
The music in the video was going. You started talking.
I didn't see any of that.
I saw it. That's what I'm saying. Like, anyways, we're live.
Wow. Well, this is one heck of an open. All right. I can't wait for the audio version of this one. Well, all right, insiders. Here we are. It's Inside Scoop. It's episode. This is episode 150 now.
150.
Yeah, this is 150. All right. This Kicks and Flicks. You guys just had 100, so this is dope. We're hitting some milestones. Jeff is on. Jeff's got a he's got a little summertime vacation, but he's gonna be back next week, and then you're gonna be joining him next week while I'm out on a summer vacation. Yep. So look at that.
Hey, right? Listen, I'm just glad you guys brought me in. I gotta throw in a little more flavor. You know, Jeff was killing me, my arch nemesis. So
why is he your arch nemesis?
You know, I'm gonna tell everybody. There's a reason why me and Jeff are arch nemesis. Okay, it's because every time I do a show at 8 a.m. the show gets posted at 7:59. Somehow at 8 a.m. Jeff's already halfway through telling me how I'm wrong about everything I say. Makes no sense at all. Makes no sense. And then that's when you guys started seeing us argue in the chat all day. And then Jeff is slick. Jeff tries to act nice with you guys in the chat. Then he'll text me some stuff on the side talking some junk. And I'm like, all right, here we go. All right, Jeff, gotcha. That's why.
Well, you know the problem? The problem with arguing with Jeff. Love you, by the way, Jeff. The problem is he's rarely incorrect, and he knows it. That's the problem, because now imagine arguing with somebody who knows they're always going to be right. Right? All right, we got a lot that we got to talk. We got to talk about. We got a lot that we got to jump into. Okay. You are at the Supershow, the martial arts Supershow. I can't wait to hear a little bit more about that. But speaking of big things that are happening, man, BFT is just blowing up. This is going to be the card of all cards, right? And I'm telling you, I was hooked from VFT1. You were on VFT1. You were on the first card.
Yes,
right?
I did. I was on the first one, and then I ended up being on still. I'm going to say this right now. Still the record-breaking card, the draft. Still the record breaker.
Well, I don't know, man. Time shall tell about this one, because
this next one might actually. This next one's probably going to crush our numbers, but
I want to hear a little bit more about what the way this is going to be formatted. If it's going to be a legit like team fight, like USA versus the world, or if they're just going to be set matches with this USA fighter versus this, European fighter. Because I got to tell you, man, it doesn't matter. I'm hooked. Did you hear who they signed? Richie Veras.
Yep. I know.
Richie Veras is there. So you know what I like about Richie is his game is not dependent on a young athletic fighting style.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
He's very smart. Like I heard about him, and I heard, he might be the best Hungarian, and I'm like, all right, well, at the time I'm like, well, none of them really impressed me, so whatever. All right. So at the time, right? So
yeah.
And then come to find out that Christian is actually the most decorated of all of them, right? I don't know if you knew.
Yeah,
that.
Christian, man.
Yeah. If we found out that he was on, that would be something. But anyway, but then, I keep hearing about this Richie Veras kid. So when I started watching him, and this is for insiders that actually watch like YouTube like fights, you can go back, you can watch a young Avery Plowden fight Richie Veras at the US Open. And look at, you know what, even like the first 3 clashes of that match and how Avery did some really good things in that match. Like I think the way his style was then is if he was close enough, he was not going to let a possible opportunity of a point like get away. He was not going to do that. And he did that in one of the very early opening clashes of that match. The next 2 clashes, Richie just totally got him on the spacing. And that is something, watch the spacing in between their feet, in between Richie's front foot and Avery's front foot, and what Richie does to close that gap, because it's really subtle, because Richie's constantly moving. That's his fighting style, right? And then he finds a way to where he has now closed that gap. And he might be closing the gap and you didn't know it from his movement, or he might have disguised that movement. And we all have done that in a lot of ways.
Man, let me tell you, I've actually gotten the chance to fight Richie Veras really young in my career. Yeah, I fought Richie Veras young in my career. We did a team fight at Ocean States when he was on Paul Mitchell. He ended up winning it 3-2. And one of the things that he does really good at, and you know this from the European style, Alex, is he circles the ring and then he stops his momentum. So you bring yourself to him and you almost kick by his shoulder, and that's always how he gets his body punch and his step in every single time. Yeah. And it's he has this way that he circles the ring that it's almost like you can't chase him. You have to just hold position, and you almost have to fight Richie knowing it's going to be a slower pace match in the beginning half of the fight.
Taller fighters have a really tough time fighting him. Taller fight, because he can get inside of the leg so easily. And when you blitz him, the side kick is actually hard. It's easier for him than it would be as if he was a bigger, taller guy, because you can't jam the side kick as easily, right? Not that the side kick's particularly great, but it's like you don't have to be the best in order for it to be effective when you're at that height, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of guys who are fast and then at that height, there was another one, Timmy Sarantudis.
Yo, my God.
Timmy Sarantudis. I'll never forget this. It was the Irish Open, one of the first Irish Opens I was at, right? And I always joke around and I call Justin Ortiz the American ambassador of the Irish Open. That's why I always joke around with him, like, oh man, it's the ambassador again. So we're talking about this, we're talking about that, and this guy, Justin Ortiz, is freaking smart, right? This guy breaks down everything, right? Made me feel like, man, it's taking me to school. Anyway, one of the things that we were talking about one of Timmy's fights, right? In the team fight against Top 10 Germany and the All-Stars, Timmy spreaded Robbie Lavoie, right? And people were like, oh, Robbie didn't. And Justin was like, listen, that's not going to happen tomorrow. And by the way, Timmy's fast as shit.
Yeah, everyone says that. Everyone says he's super fast.
He goes, no. Timmy's fast as shit. So I was like, okay. But you look at it and you go, well, what is he fast at, right? And you wouldn't say like, oh, he has the fastest blitz. I actually think that would be someone like Elijah Everill, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say like, oh, like his kicks are extremely fast. Nope, I would give that to somebody else. He just doesn't do anything slow, right? He's never in the same spot. Someone like Hamid Farouzi used to fight like that. I actually feel Timmy's faster, right? Right? With Hamid,
wow,
he is. I think he is.
I've never ever heard you put anything someone does better than Hamid. That's like
out of here, huge, man. Whatever.
That's a huge uptick to Timmy. But you are right though, man. Timmy's really shifty. Timmy Sarantudis is very shifty.
Hamid used to have this vocal strategy, and he goes, "I will never be anywhere for 2 seconds." I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I will not be in one place for 2 seconds. That will never happen. Why? And he goes, I'll get beat. I'll get hit. You know, I'm like, all right, smart. All right. It's hard fighting somebody knowing that that's going to be the case because you don't want to really commit to something because you know, like they're probably not going to be there. And Timmy's just fast enough to where he can move around. I'll tell you a matchup. I don't think Timmy's going to win though.
I think I know who it is.
Who you think I'm going to say?
If he fights Tyreek.
I don't think he would beat Tyreek, but I think the better one would be is if he fought Tyson. I think Tyson would beat him.
Ooh.
I think Tyson's leg. This is the thing that's not getting enough credit is Tyson's leg.
Tyson, yeah.
Leg.
Yeah, he has a.
And it's not even like it's not even about his kicks. If you watch tape on Tyson, right? People will just pick their chamber up and it's like, all right, that's just the chamber. You're not doing anything with that. I'm gonna step over that. I'll step through that. He puts it at like the shoulder or like right at your chin, right? So you're like, oh, I can't just step through that, right?
Yeah.
I can't just move it, right? Because it's if I take my front hand when your foot is aiming at my face and I go, now you can extend it. And now there's a problem, right? So he doesn't just kind of fake near your body. He's faking an actual kick that really poses a real threat. So for a heavyweight fighter, right, fighting a lightweight, you want them to throw like float a kick by the body, but he doesn't. He floats it by your face. So now you have to back up. And then he's fast.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a good point, man. I didn't even think about that. I personally, I thought Tyreek, if we're going speed wise, I was like, man, Tyreek, I think. And I haven't seen Timmy. So I'm like, I thought Tyreek would be faster. You gotta give your opinion. You get to see both of them. I haven't been on the other side of the pond yet. I've never seen Timmy.
I feel like now that you say that, Tyreek and Timmy might be a more exciting fight.
It would be exciting. Oh, absolutely.
You know the fight I think everybody's kind of in the back of their mind thinking about it. The fight I kind of just don't want to see. I don't want to see Bailey fight Elijah. Tell me what you were thinking. Because you've thought about this too.
I've thought about it. This is my thing. I don't think there's no way Bailey's leaving UK without fighting Elijah.
I know that.
Because of the track record, and it's like all of us. If we have that person, we all in the moment we're gonna say we want to get that. Now, this is why I say it also depends on what are the rules. If we're doing matches determines who wins a team fight, or is it total points? Because if we're doing matches, that can change the whole thing. If we're doing total points, Bailey's a point getter. And we're not saying Elijah isn't, but Bailey's a point getter. So he may be able to keep the match closer with Elijah than maybe someone else would. You never know.
Chris is telling us that it's total points. So
it's total points. Okay.
Yeah. If it's everything that we know VFT to be, and I think it should be, right?
Okay. Now, but here goes the other part. Now,
Yeah.
if we're gonna say total points.
Yeah.
Do we do a front hand?
That was one of the other things I was wondering because
we've adopted it now over here. So now there's no.
We have.
You can roll your eyes. You can roll your eyes. We have. Listen, my own teammate, someone uses the front hand a lot. So.
Oh my gosh, he's got to stop.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just saying.
Lonzo, you got to stop that front hand.
Hey, don't tell him to stop. He's scoring points with it.
He's not scoring points.
If we are now trying to do the front hand over here, now we have no argument to say that. God bless you. There's no reason to say that the body jab is not effective or not working. Like at that point, we both are doing it. That's gonna. The difference is that I'm not gonna say they might be better at it than us, but they have more experience with that technique. So I think a lot of things play into it. No front hand.
So he's saying no front hand, VFT rules. So we're not VFT is not changing their rules.
Not changing their rules. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. That's
the way they should do it. It should be done that way. You know what I want to the only rule I'm wondering about is the sweep.
we weren't allowed to sweep in VFT.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So okay.
Well, let's look at the lineup. Let's look at the lineup right now. How many people have effectively used their sweeps? or in Europe on the European side?
Oh, Timmy is one of the best ever.
Timmy is, and what about Chris Ashton? Yes or no?
Nah, heck no.
No. Okay. Well, hold on. Now for Chris Ashton, that's gonna be tough with no front hand. That's gonna be a tough
I'm
one
going to
for
tell
him.
you this. Listen,
It hasn't been decided. I got you. Thank you, CP.
I'll tell you that. You know what? You brought it up, so we're gonna talk about Chris Ashton. Okay.
I know how you feel about him. I'm just saying, like, we know if he can't use the
listen,
front hand, it's gonna be tough.
without Chris Ashton being able to use the front hand, I don't know his path to victory. I do not know I don't know his path to victory. Unless he is just going to be like, I will never pick my front foot up, which is smart, right? I am never going to pick my front foot up, and it's just going to be defensive body punches. That's just what it's going to be. All right. Don't even blitz. Don't do it. All right. Because I'm making it sound like he's really bad, and he's not. I look at he's relatively average, and then there's the front hand. And then now it looks like he's amazing, right? When it's like, wait a minute, what technique is he amazing at?
Okay.
What is it that you're great at? So if I don't have anything that you're great at, what are we talking about? Now someone's, here's where it comes. Someone's going to come and give the hate. Oh, no, he's done this, he's done that, he's done this, he's done that. Yeah, he's probably gotten awards, all right? How's he gotten them? All right, let's go before somebody gets me a...
So now I got two things. And one of them is probably going to be an easier answer than the other. The first thing is, do you think they would use the ring because we use a cage over here? You think they'll use a boxing ring over there? Or you think they'll keep it on the tatami?
I think it'll be on the tatami. No, it's got to be on a tatami. Well,
I'm just saying we use a cage. We use a cage. We don't use mats for VFT. So
I think they're going to have to, because for the visual, what we do on VFT, it's a virtual fight tour. It only works if everybody, across the world can tap in and see it. And that is one thing that Jesse's done an amazing job of, is we can watch it and we know what's going on. Love the 3 rounds. It is amazing. That is the only thing I didn't love about the draft one was
it wasn't 3 rounds, it was 1 round.
Our sport, I'm going to give a knock on our sport here for a moment. It's not really spectator friendly, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to know what's going on to a certain degree, right? Any activity, you really have to know what we're doing, and you can't look away, right? So like if I'm watching a fight, I have to be like this the whole time. All right. I can't just go and then go over here and see what's going on over there and come back. I might have missed some of the most important part of the match. If I step away for 15 seconds, that could be it right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. I know what you mean. I don't know. I just wonder that part. I feel like they can still have a visual. I mean, they do, Waco does kickboxing all the time. So they probably have a way where they're streaming it I've seen streams of the full contact rings. So I've seen it before. I'm sure there's a way for them to get good visuals. My next thing is, I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Your sleeper pick. What's your sleeper matchup? If you were to think the matchup sleeper on Europe.
Wait, you mean matchup or fighter?
Sleeper fighter on Europe. We'll say that. Sleeper fighter on Europe. Because I have one.
Tali Krishner.
You think Tali? Ooh.
Oh, yeah. And here's why I'll say that. Right?
Okay.
It's not like people know who he is, so it's not like, he's still really good. No, the one thing about him that I will say, he has consistently gotten a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit, and he's never, ever since, right? He's just consistently started to level up and level up. I don't remember many matches where he just laid an egg, right? Right. And when he was leveling up, he beat the person he was supposed to beat, but he didn't really lose to somebody who he should have beaten. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you'll lose to somebody who's better than you or is more accomplished, but he didn't really lose to somebody like a Desmond Leonard, right? He's not gonna lose to him, right? he's gonna beat him, right? Even Anil, I will say this: I would put Tali over Anil, right? And these are just some your European names, but I got a chance to fight Tali years ago. And I remember at the time, like I watched him and I'm like, all right, I know how this is going to go. I know what's going to happen. And I was able to, I was able to win that match. But he has consistently leveled up. He was at that time a middleweight fighting like a heavyweight. Now he's a middleweight fighting like a lightweight. Right.
Okay.
And so I think for Europe, he's the sleeper.
For Europe, I have two that could be the sleeper. The one I would want to go with, because I don't know him as well, is Borislav Radulov. I don't really know him.
Makes sense why he would be the sleeper, because I'm asleep on his fighting. I don't know.
I don't know him at all. But someone else I think that could be a sleeper, and it's people got to hear me out when I say this, is going to be Richie Veras. And the reason why I say that is because we haven't seen him compete as consistently as we have the last 3 to 4 years. And the times I have seen him compete, he had a good showing at Irish Open the year that Raymond went and competed.
The latest one.
The latest one.
When Raymond did teams. That was 2020.
When Raymond did teams, yeah. So that was he had a good showing there. But then after that, he didn't do too good at Waka Worlds. He didn't do too good at some of the local tournaments he went to, or I don't want to say local, but some of the Waka tournaments he went to, and he wasn't as consistent. And they're not even just about competing over here in the States, just in general. Kind of like that whole era of the Corrales, they've been really up and down. So we don't really know what we're going to get from them. A matchup, I'm going to say this, a matchup I do think that I think is going to be exciting. This matchup, if it does happen, is going to be Darren Payne and Connor McGlitchley. I think that will be an exciting matchup. 2 long legs and 2 people that have different approaches of how they use their length. You have to play that out. That could be a very, very good matchup.
You know what we don't have info on? Who is coaching Dagger? What's up, brother? Look at this. We got an inside scoop celebrity drop.
Hey guys, hey everybody.
What's happening? Okay, I'm gonna jump back into that right away. We don't know who's coaching Europe.
Oh, wait a minute. We have never even touched that. Okay, hold on. Are we gonna assume,
I'll tell you who I think
are we gonna assume that Jesse Ray is gonna coach USA?
It might be a conflict of interest.
So who will coach USA? That'll be the other part.
I don't know. What I will say is, Europe definitely needs a coach, and that coach should be what up, Connell. Speaking of coach,
he said, "What up?" Yep. Speaking of coach, we got him right here. Speaking of coach,
I love it. Listen, I can't hear that Alex is such a cool guy. We get on conversations and we can talk for freaking hours. So,
yeah. Oh, Connell and I will talk forever. Connell will call me in the middle of a day on a Wednesday.
Yeah, he said you were his homie.
That's my homie.
Yeah.
That's my homie. All right, go ahead.
I got you. No problem, coach. This is what you get when you have the best on the Supershow.
I know. I can't wait to hear more about it. So speaking of coach, I think Dave Heffernan should be the coach of Europe. I think he really should.
Okay.
Dave Heffernan.
I have
and Esteban Corrali
pick.
Might be.
Ooh, Esteban Corrali, yeah.
They might be some of the smartest coaches that there is. The only problem with Esteban Corrali is the language barrier.
No, you don't even know. Hold on. This other thing though. He might be multilingual because of that area, and people in Europe.
Time out, Angel. You know this to be true. He is multilingual, but the accent matters.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you got me on that.
Here's an example. I'll tell you this. Sam Gagnon, right? I love that dude. That dude's fun.
I've had him coach me, so I know. Yep.
And the first couple times you were like, what are you saying?
Yeah, a lot. So one time I remember I told him, I think we called time. I was like, I gotta fix my foot gear. I didn't have to. I just looked at him and I was like, you gotta tell me if it's a side kick or a roundhouse kick. I don't know what you're saying. And then he was like, just go out and fight. I was like, okay, just I can't understand right now. I don't know. Like I honestly don't know.
So, but then after you got a chance to know him and talk to him a little bit, you were like, now I understand what you're trying to say.
The familiarity of his voice, I was able to get it.
With a bunch of fighters that don't train with him all the time. They're not going to get that.
But who's to say that Europe won't come out and have a training camps before they go to Bristol Open?
I mean, it's highly possible.
You know? And now I'm going to throw some picks out there. I think for USA, if it cannot be Jesse Ray, I think you can possibly see Jody in the mix. I think you can see Richard Plout in the mix. And here's one that it could be a conflict of interest, but I think he knows the Waco style very well, and I think he'll be good over there, would be either Troy or Junior Salientes. I think those four. Troy Binge, Junior Salientes.
I mean, Troy. Troy makes more sense. Troy makes probably the most sense because, well, Richard probably makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But you can't have one without the other.
I know.
Coming.
So I mean, maybe
you know what I mean.
So that's what I'm saying. But we never. Hey, but I think there's still more picks that are going to be decided. So you never know.
That's a couple of months left, man.
So this is going to be exciting. And I think, man, those are all good dynamics. And then here goes another dynamic. Females, the females that could possibly go out here for the USA and for Europe. We can get some really good matchups. We can get some matchups that we may have wanted to see, but that we don't get to.
Here's the problem. Because the way this is right now, this is a USA versus Europe.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say.
Female fighters are
They live in the USA. They live in the USA. They live in the USA. I'm just saying, they live in the USA. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say, keep it there. They live in the USA.
Come on, man.
They're not. Listen. I don't think they're going to be strict and go through and check passports and make sure that you are a USA fighter for VFT. If you live in the USA
I will say that's fine. So that opens it up for fighters like Cassandra and Yamena and the likes. Okay, yeah. That would be good. I still think that. No, I know that Europe is deeper by a fair amount, like very deep.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we know that. I think we all know
in the UK, right?
Yeah,
but like Shannon Ryan, Bev Stutziger, right?
Evelyn
Nayens, right? Look at that. And right there, if you were just in the tournament,
that's a solid 3.
They might be the last 3 in the whole tournament
if
everybody was there.
That's a solid 3.
That's not even bringing the Italians in.
Yeah, because you got Francesca, Ceci, Elena, and then we're not even counting Team Germany or Hungary. You got Anna; she may come back out for one. You never know.
Yeah, Austria's got a couple of the really good ones.
Now there's the other thing. There's the other thing also for us USA.
What's that?
And it sucks that we have to say USA because if we count people that compete in the USA, do we look at the Canadians? There's so many ways we can go with this, so it's gonna be a fun couple months to see what this lineup is gonna be.
It's exactly it. That's what it's gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of good things. The one thing I will say about what you said, I don't think we're gonna see the matchup of Darren Payne and Connor McGlinchey.
You don't think so? Oh,
heck no.
Man, that's what I would want to see.
Right. Here's why. I don't think that's gonna benefit Connor. I think they're gonna try to. Connor's gonna do whatever he can to get away from that. And here's why I'll say that. Darren has fought with people who have been a better kicker than him before.
True.
I don't think Connor's fought a lot of people a lot of times that have been better kickers
like Darren
than Connor. I don't think Connor has fought a lot of kickers that are better than him.
True.
How about this? You and I know it. All right.
Yeah.
When you go out there and you're like, and you look at a ring and you're looking at the division like this and you go, okay, I'm a better kicker than all of you guys. Okay. You're not saying like I'm gonna whoop you. You just go like you're just surveying it, and you go all
Kicking
right.
and
I've
these,
got
if I
that.
had these matchups with people, kicking is my strength in this matchup. I can
And
go
then
to
all
it.
of a sudden, the guy comes out, and you're like, holy shit.
It's a lot of pressure. You're like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. The script wasn't supposed to go this way. Yeah, I got you.
And it changes everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on, man. We could do this for 2 more hours.
Oh yeah, we could. We know that. You know, we could.
I want to hear a little bit more about what you got going on. I want to hear about this Super Show, man. What's going on with the Super Show?
Man, this has been a crazy experience. Honestly, the Super Show is most of my first time being here. I was blessed to be out here with Century. They brought out some few select members from Team Revolution to come out and do demonstrations and pretty much just show the sponsored athletes that Century has underneath their brand. But with that being said, man, I just got to meet. I'm gonna name off just a list of celebrities that are here. Cynthia Rock, Bill Super Fawaz, your favorite Alex. Ernie Reyes. Yeah, Ernie Reyes Jr. was here. Yep, and then my brother was here as a celebrity. We're throwing that in there. Chris Cyborg. Chris Cyborg was here. Leota Machida. You had the Machado brothers here. On top of that, you also had one of the Machado brothers' top students from their school. He taught seminars. On top of all that stuff, we also had some people that do Kali fighting. The most prominent Kali fighters, they were here doing seminars. On top of just those names, I also had to see some of our good friends in sport karate. So I got to see Abid Ben Wali. He was out here teaching seminars, instructing. He was killing the game.
Yeah, Beta's he's a fantastic coach. He's good.
Yeah, man.
He's
so
smart.
he was out there killing the game.
He's got energy to him.
Listen, here's that class. I looked at it. I was like, I think I'm busy right now. Actually,
you just hang out with the guy. If you just hanging out with Obeda, you're like, wow, this guy's super chill, and he is.
Yeah.
And then you see him out
and
there.
then you see him in class. You're like, what the heck is this guy?
You just did some cocaine, and then you went out there and taught a class.
Nuts. So, and then on top of that, we also had the people from Team Gypsy, some guys from here. So we talk about VFT, John Claude Lewison, aka Exotic. He's out here, one of the biggest people that backs VFT and helps put all the production together. Along with that, Team Paul Mitchell was out here. So some of the members, Danny Etkin came out, made an appearance. So you got to see a bunch of people from sport karate here. Also, the main thing about the martial arts super show, it's like, you guys, I'm sure everyone knows, and Alex, what Comic-Con is. People go, you dress up as the characters, but not just dress up as characters. You got people that are just showing off their comic books and just a general love of people that just love comics, anime, the full artistic.
I've not been to Comic-Con before, but I'm assuming like wherever Comic-Con is and whatever it is, like, is it that they just kind of accept that this is the biggest thing for anybody who's into comics? There's nothing bigger than this.
Exactly. So like this, if you were like into martial arts, this is where you want to be.
So then this is the biggest single martial arts event you've really been to?
If I'm not even joking. Yes, it is.
Wow.
I haven't seen, there are so many booths that are martial arts related. Like, I did not realize how much reach martial arts has in just everything that we do. And like, we always see everything from a fishbowl sometimes, but like there's truly everyone that is here. I'm going to tell you now, I know people that are from Maine that I go to tournaments with. I would have never thought I saw them here at the Martial Arts Super Show just because of the distance, and they're here. It's just insane.
Basically, if you do martial arts, really of any kind, not just competition,
any kind,
if you do martial arts of any kind, you find yourself at the Super Show in some way, shape, or form.
Yep. And then on top of all of that, it is Century is there. They're having out. So like, I did not know this. So this like just happened when the show ended, because today was the last day. So it ended.
Today was the last day of the show.
Today was the last day of the show. It started on it really started on Monday and it ended on Wednesday. But Sunday I was able to get in and we run through our whole prep time and everything we have to do. When we were here at the end of the show, Century does a super sale on all the newest gear that you can have. I'm going to tell you now, people are leaving here with new Century freestanding bags. And I'm like, how are you going to get this on the plane? Do you just buy this and you're going to ship it home? And I'm saying, like, let's say the wrap on the bag, it could be like a vinyl that they made for like a made up. Let's just say this: they had gis made for all of our Fix Kicks and Flicks listeners. They had gis
For
made
real?
for Angle Fang karate, Miyagi Do karate, and Cobra Kai karate. They had gis made. They're gonna be coming out soon
Get out.
in the new product line. People took the gis off the mannequin and said they want to buy it right there. I've never seen anything like that. People had freestanding bags. They took it off the base and just taken the bag, the base mount.
This is like the Black Friday of karate.
It's like a Black Friday sale right at the end. I've never seen that before. And when I tell you, Alex, let's say it started at 3:30. By 3:35, everything was off the shelves. Things were on the floor. Like, it was nuts.
Shut the front door.
It was nuts. It was like a mob rush to the center of the whole entire floor. On top of those things, man, one good thing that I got blessed with is that I was able to do some product testing for some of the new stuff. So if you guys ever see any videos out, I'm wearing the new product for Sea Gear that's coming out soon.
So what's it like?
I love it, honestly. So
wait, this is not the one thing. This isn't the one with the little leather on the bottom of the foot pad, is it?
No, this is where I'm gonna get into this. Chris was a big proponent on why he didn't like the little booties where it has the leather on the bottom of the foot pad. The new line that's coming out, they don't have the leather on the bottom of the foot pad. They have 2 straps that go across so your toes can grip very easily. Everything is Waco approved.
But all right, I like this so far. Go ahead.
Waco, everything is Waco approved. It's 8-ounce gloves, leather material. And personally, they felt, now 8 ounces. I'm not saying like a boxing glove. It was still a point fighting glove. Leather, the inside is the same type of material the Top 10 would use, the Climacool. But it was a light glove. I was using it to do all my demos. I was using it to do all my kickboxing stuff. It felt great. Now, Tracy Armstead, he was holding the pad, and I threw a punch, and even he goes like, yo, man, I felt like you have like a rock in there. Like, how much was the weight? And I'm over there like, it's just because I punch hard. That's don't try and make it about the glove, bro. Like, what you doing? But we looked at the gloves, and the gloves that people are using now, like the gloves I use, the white and black ones, they're 4 ounces. The new gloves are going to be 8 ounces, but they feel just like the 4-ounce gloves. It doesn't change the feel.
Real.
Yeah. And on top of that, they're coming out with a whole new set of colors. If people are looking into seeing that, we'll look out for some stuff that they're going to be dropping. Century it had everything there, man. Anything Century they had mats, they had all that.
So Century. Oh,
and also they had Master Ken here. I cannot forget that they had Master Ken.
Is it real? Can they call it a super show without Master Ken? I don't care what his appearance fee is. Pay the man. Pay the man.
Yeah, no.
That is someone. I can tell you, if there's a guest that would love to be on Inside Scoop, it'd be Master Ken. Although he would call me bullshit, but whatever.
No, hey, listen. He was. I got to learn what a true Emeridote is. It's different.
Wait, did you talk to him?
Bro, I talked to him. I took pictures with him. A lot of our team members are going to be in their upcoming episodes.
Stop.
If anyone wants to see a specific one, watch the episode with Edgar Cordova. You're going to love that one.
Edgar's going to be in an Enter the Dojo episode.
Oh, yes, he is. So is Cam Klaus and Laney Barrett.
All right. This is going to be cool.
Yep.
How come you didn't make one of the episodes?
Because I saw what happened to Edgar Cordova, and I said absolutely not.
Oh, he got stomped in the groin.
Oh, more than that. I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys, but yeah, he got an interesting episode.
Oh man,
Let me just tell you this. When Edgar got done, I go, "How was it?" And his first reaction was, "I don't know if my manhood is still there." I started dying. I said, "Gotcha, brother. Whatever you say." So
dang,
it's good. It was good, but in all seriousness, man. And the other big thing, man, is we talk about like our sport and the way our athletes get treated, right?
Yeah.
And like we always want to be treated how we should feel. Like we put a lot of time and effort into this to be professional. Man, I cannot say enough good things about Century and the way they treated us this weekend. And this is like no ad, no promo for them, no nothing. Is like from the bottom of my heart. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided for us every single time, every single day. We had
Century.
By Century. Like we didn't have to pay. We just walked to the room and it was already there. I'm saying like gourmet meals.
That leads me to go. Okay, so Century was there.
Yep.
Was there any other like martial arts like equipment or apparel people that we would know? Or is this...
No, because it's a Century show. Century puts on the martial arts super show.
Get out. All right.
Okay. And I'm telling you, Century puts on the martial arts super show. They had a bunch of different things. So they had like, oh, wrong arm. Like My Studio was there. They were a sponsor. A bunch of different dojo programming apps to like help you run your school. It was just like health and fitness. Everything that you can think of in terms of
Yeah,
martial arts was
I've heard
there.
of the
No
My
stone was left
Dojo one
unturned.
before.
Yeah,
I've
so
heard of it.
everything was there. But this is a Century show, a Century martial arts show with Black Belt Magazine.
Well, now Team Revolution is like Century's like main competition team, right?
Yeah, so it's between us. It's between us and Team Paul Mitchell. We're the top
So
two
that's where I want
teams
to go.
that Century
What
Martial
was
Arts
Paul
has.
Mitchell's? What was it like? What did they do? What was
Between us and Paul Mitchell, we both had booths. We both had a setup that we had to have at our booth. Like, I mean, you can make it personal however you wanted, and then we all had demo times. So if I did the morning demo time with Team Revolution, Paul Mitchell had the afternoon demo time, and the flip flop, they would
Oh
have
man,
morning, we would have
you a
afternoon.
part-time job. Ah,
Oh no! Don't now. There's another thing. As an athlete, I was just as tired doing everything as I was at a tournament because I'm busy all day.
yeah.
And it wasn't just one demo. I'm doing demos on the black belt mat, on the Century mat, on the main floor. Like it was doing demo after demo after demo. So it was you're here. I don't want to say being put to work. You're here using your talents is what got you here. So you got to show your talent. And on top of all that, though, man, I gotta say the love we received was just insane. It really was insane.
Tell me more about the Paul Mitchell setup that they had.
So they
Who
pretty
was
much
there?
so here on Paul Mitchell's behalf was Damon Gilbert, Chris Rappold, Jackson Rudolph, Jake Presley, Alex Mancias, Haley Glass, and then my brother Samuel Diaz III.
Okay. So we got the forms guys, your brother,
Yep.
and then a couple of coaches.
Yeah. And then for us on our side, it was Canell
Notice
Lovelace.
how I said
Edgar.
the forms guys and then your brother, because you can never call Sam Diaz.
He does all three. He does all three.
That guy.
He does all three. So actually,
He was
this
my first
weekend,
real one. My real one of the week was Sam Diaz.
yeah, I know, he was the real one. But he, so on our side, it was Canell, Edgar Cordova, Tracy Armstead from Texas, and then our athletes we had it was Amber Rutherford, Lainey Barrett, Christina Sabunge, Cam Klaus, and then me. And then everyone, and then Kaylin Kowalski, cannot forget her. And we all did something
She ain't gonna
different.
let you.
No, she won't let. You know, I'm gonna catch heat for this later, but it's fine. But and then we all did our specialty, whatever it was that we did in our demos. So for Cam Klaus, he did kata. For Lainey Barrett, she did sword and kata. For Amber Rutherford, she did her weapons kata and her normal kata. And
You
the
guys
team
are just doing demonstrations, right?
demonstrations. That's all we were doing. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, man.
So,
You know what it was? This is how I explain it to people, and this is like the best way in terms from my athlete side of it. I got to do all the fun stuff of karate that I love to do without the stress of the tournament. Because there was no stress. What was the stress to come here? What was the stress to come here and enjoy myself in Las Vegas and then also do what I love? There was no stress here. I got to have as much fun with this as I wanted to. So,
dude, I heard CTE this week, and dude, it's hot in Chicago.
oh my god, I don't even want to step outside.
And this is where people say, like, oh, don't complain about the heat because in January, wish you had it. No, and you know why? I'll explain. Just look out on this is just Illinois, right? It's just Illinois. Okay. Nothing big. Yeah. So you look out middle of the day, just look out on the street. It looks beautiful when you're inside, right? And you look outside, you don't see nobody outside going for a walk.
Nope.
You don't even see kids outside playing. Although my kids were. They're nuts. Right? All right. But you don't see anybody walking a dog. You don't see anybody going for a walk. You don't see anybody riding a bike because it's 1 billion degrees. Where you are at, you are on the equator.
Dude, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you how bad it was. At night, it always gets colder, right, than the day.
Yeah.
The high is 115 today. I'm gonna go out at night and it'll be 100 degrees. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. The fact that like where I'm from in
You're
Connecticut,
like
our
65,
high is like
72.
85, 90, and our low is like 60 at night. So I'm like, I always like to go out at night because it's cool. I can wear shorts and a t-shirt. Here, I can wear shorts and a t-shirt, and you by the time you walk the strip, you're dying in sweat. There's no point. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Like, no, this was completely insane. Believe me when I tell you. Completely insane.
So as long as you're indoors all the time, you're good.
Oh yeah, and then when you're indoors, now here goes the other part. The martial arts super show, they blast the AC, so you're cold inside. But if
So
you
that's
walk
like
outside,
Central Florida.
you'll burn. Oh yeah, it's
You're
like
used to that.
it's
In
just
Florida,
crazy.
you don't dress for the weather. You dress for the air conditioning.
Yeah. But one good thing also about the Super Show, I don't want to miss this part because this is like really where the reason why people go to the Super Show that aren't athletes or competitors
Yeah,
is for learning how to run your school and learning new
Yeah.
ways to build your school up. And now, one thing I will say is they have their seminars locked down and loaded on point when it comes to how to market your school, how to run your school, what software programs to use, why do you use certain software programs, how to build a curriculum in your school. And one good thing I heard today from I went to the My Studio lecture to listen in and just get some new tips and tricks. And one thing I really loved that he said was you want to make your curriculum simple so that way your students aren't always quitting at the 6 month mark. And one thing I always, as soon as he said it, I was like, man, I always find that problem. Like sometimes I have my students, they get to 6 months and then they're done. And when sometimes as karate instructors, we're always pushing for that one more month. And we just got to look at our curriculum and then build it where it allows for the students to still be challenged, but want to be in karate and love what they do. So those are just little things I learned from this weekend and just the seminar series. Because while I was out here, I took advantage of it, man. I wanted to build my school up and put myself in a good position with my karate school also. So a lot of people come out here for that. And man, just like I said, just the camaraderie, what you see from everybody here, everyone has genuinely a good time. And then, man, let me tell you something. I was doing some kicking drills, and Bill Wallace was telling me how to kick and how to kick the proper way and how to do it the right way. And all I thought about in that moment was like, yo, Alex Dingman would love this right now. I'm not even joking. No, I was really kicking. And he's like, well, let me see you do this. Let me see that. He's like, oh, you're pretty good there, huh? He was like, now kick like this. And I was like, okay. And in my mind, I was like, man, I wish Alex was here. We could go through this whole series together.
That would be cool to do that together.
No, but it was cool. And to see a guy who is way older than me doing a split that I can't do is ridiculous.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, I've done some of his classes like in karate school in Minnesota. So that was cool. And that was just because of his relationships with John Worley,
Yeah.
he was able to do that. Where I was lucky enough as a kid to be able to have that happen. I was like, oh, this is freaking cool. Right?
Yeah.
Guy's literally name is Superfoot. I think kicking is cool. So this is the best, which is probably why I fought like that all the time. Now that I think about it, now that I process it, like over 30 years later, like, yeah, it's Bill Wallace's fault. Only he can't slide, but whatever.
Oh man. Always gotta throw something in there. I got you, Alex. It's fine. You know what I should have got you his autograph. That's where I messed up. That's where I messed up.
You know what? I probably got it as a kid. Yo, I want to go back. I was thinking about this because the Super Show, I guess I didn't like put two and two together that Century's putting it on. But I knew that Century was going to be there. So I knew the Revolution was going to be there. I knew Paul Mitchell was going to be there. I knew that there was going to be seminars. And I knew that Paul Mitchell was going to have a fair amount of people who were doing them. And then I started thinking, I'm like, there's nothing for them to do fighting.
There was only one
5 years.
person. There was only one person that did fighting here. Also,
who? Oh, you? No, I mean, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about
no. But I'm saying like out of the whole entire event, I'm saying even with Lyoto Machida, like him doing his seminar, that was the only other fighting seminar demo that there was. It was me and Lyoto. Alex, I'm telling you, it was me and Lyoto Machida. I'm telling you, and then on top of that, I'm just gonna put this out there. Me and my brother were Lyoto Machida's. I want to say like it's called ukes in Japanese, but like the throwing partner, like the demonstration dummies
like his
for his
assistant?
seminars. Yeah, for his whole entire seminar, me and my brother were the only ones.
Did you give like your phone to somebody? You like just videotape this the whole time.
What are you talking about?
This.
Videotape? I told everyone, I was like, guys, I'm stretching really over, but please take pictures. He punched me in the face. I was like, thank God, I never washed this side of my face ever again. He front kicked my brother. My brother was like, my brother said he could kick my butt any day of the week. I don't care. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So,
damn. Well,
yeah, but yeah, those are the only two that there were.
All right, now I'm gonna ask your opinion. What do you? Because this is where my head was going, right? And I'm like, JPM hasn't had anything fighting related that they could have done or even been a part of at the Supershow for like 5 years, maybe 4, but it's freaking JPM.
Yeah.
You see this changing?
I'm gonna say yes. And this is where I'm gonna say yes. I think. Okay, let me ask. I'm gonna put this now. You're gonna like this talk.
Go ahead.
What happens in basketball after we see a championship team and the vets get seasoned? What does a franchise go through?
Oh, you're talking about a rebuilding phase. This
right?
is not the same thing, though.
It is, but they're picking up juniors. They're building the team.
That's a personal problem. Listen. I'll explain. Here's it is. All right. Do you know what? When people ask this all the time, it just blows my mind. People say like, "Hey, what free agents are out there?" Everyone is a free agent. Everybody is if they want to be, right? Like someone could go up to Bailey Murphy and be like, "Hey, I want you to fight for me and I'll give you this." He's not going to say yes, right? But he can if he wants to. It's all whatever anybody wants to. Like someone could go, like a different coach could go up to Avery Plowden and be like, "Hey, I want you to come fight for me and not your dad." He's not going to say yes, but he could if he wanted to. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what our sport is. And the thing is, either, and I don't know, that's why I'm asking opinions, right? Either JPM has made the decision that they are not going to field any fighting whatsoever, right? Or nobody will say yes to them. They've asked people and nobody said yes. Or they can't.
Why can't they?
Exactly. Like they've asked people to come. Like I have not seen the fighter on JPM who's gotten better since being on JPM. Which is okay. That is okay. You know why? Because the John freaking Paul Mitchell, man. That's what it was. Right? It was like there's a freaking bomb, right? And the starting point for being able to be on that team was you had to be the best in the world the year before. Then it was like, hey man, they might call. Right? Because I was the best in the world at my division the whole year. They might call me. All right. And you knew if they didn't, you were like, no, whatever. I guess I got to do it again. Right? Because you might be the best in the world in your division, and they might not call you because they don't need you, right? Are you kidding me? If they right now, what are they? I got Alex Mencius, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Alex Mencius he's a very talented martial artist who fights sometimes. That's what he is. Alex Mencius is a very talented martial artist who fights more than other forms guys do. But I think he's a forms guy, right? Okay. And I'm not trying to be, don't come at me. Don't come at me, guys, and be like, oh, he beat you. Oh, what is that saying? He's going to beat some old, fat, out of shape, retired 41-year-old dude. Like, all right, buddy, thumbs up, I'm not saying this, right? What I'm just saying, I'm just looking at it, with two objective eyes going, I don't see anything changing because either they're just making a personal decision that we're just not going to pick up any fighters of any kind, or people are saying no to us and we can't get anybody to do it, or we just can't make anybody better.
Okay, so you're saying you said like they couldn't make no one better. No one's gotten better since being on Paul Mitchell. Do you think? But I'm asking you, do you think by them investing in the juniors is their way of building they're planting the seed and they're building the plant up. They're
How
gonna
about
grow
this? They had to go to the juniors. They're the only people that are going to say yes. Who else is going to say yes? Name me somebody who places in the top 3 of their division, of all the men's fighting divisions. Name me somebody in the top 3 who would say, yeah, I'll go fight for JPM. I can't think of one.
I mean, there's people that are placing in the top 3 division that could most likely get there. I don't know if they would say yes, because remember, we're not them. So you could put Jalen Lazenby in that conversation. Jalen Lazenby, someone who has potential, has all the talent in the world. He places. And I'm a man. In all seriousness, Jalen Lazenby was fighting last year at 150s, consistently getting first, second, or third.
How about even Trey Lazenby?
Trey Lazenby, another one. But both of them, you could put them in there. You could put them in that conversation. You can put. Yes. You don't think people out from the West Coast? There's a kid named Ozzy.
Dude, they had Michael Jefferson on the team. What happened to that?
I don't know. I wasn't competing NASCAR at that time when
Let's just go down the list of the. I just don't get it. Right? Would Devin Hopper? No. See what I mean?
But it's tough. It's tough for us. No. It's tough for us to make up. But we're picking people that are strongly rooted in their teams. So like Darren Payne, why would he leave his instructor? Why would he leave his instructor?
We're picking people who are near the top of their divisions. And it just so happened that somebody else coached them up and is good at that. And now they don't want to lead that team because the coach that they had was very good and was able to make them better.
I think the best thing for us is to see where time is going to tell in the next 2-3 years with the juniors that they have picked up or could potentially pick up. Now, listen, we all know with juniors, we never know if they're going to stick around. But that's part of a rebuild. The Minnesota Timberwolves have been rebuilding for almost 20 years. Now they have a shot.
Tell me.
Now they have a shot. So now we have to look in. Now we have to look and see with Anthony Edwards, with Cat, with Rudy Gobert, can this work?
No,
it's no different than.
Here's why I don't agree with that analogy.
But we just named 3 people. It's no different than a team fight. We have to see if these people can work. We have to see.
Here's why I don't agree with that analogy, because that would be like saying, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George are just sitting out there and they aren't on teams. They're just sitting out there. They're not on teams at all. But yet this other team is like, we're trying to rebuild. And all you could do is just sign them. Why don't they sign the All-Stars? Because the All-Stars won't say yes.
Well, you can't pick a team that has history with another team. That's a tough one. All right, so let's play.
I look at this and I have no other reason. I got no info. I've got nothing other than just my own 2 eyes. They don't want to be good.
So,
how could you say they want to be a great fighting team and they don't even have 2 fighters?
Maybe
and they don't have one. Well, they don't have one fighter. Alex is the guy, right? Listen, he is a fantastic martial artist who fights occasionally. That is the most accurate point of what he is. That's not dogging him at all.
Do you think it's best for them to look over the pond, over there again?
No, I think they just need to look. I think they have to figure out. This might be exactly what they want to do. They might.
I think a rebuild year might be good.
They might just be like, I don't think we're just gonna not have a fighting team.
So, Alex, you and I have both been on teams where the coach has said, like, we can have all of our fighters at a tournament and we're not putting in a team for team fights. You and I have both been on teams like that.
Okay, but that's not this scenario. This
But
scenario is
I get you. I get you. They don't have fighters to put in a team fight. But the other thing about it is what if they really want to pick the right players to make a team that is instantly gonna make a splash? You never know. They could be working on a merger. We don't know.
it's the only. Do you know why they're working on a merger?
What,
The
is this
only
the
way.
option?
The only way to get fighters on the team, because you ask the individual, hey man, come on my team, I'll cover this, I'll pay for that. No. All right. So you can't get them.
So you have to buy out the
instead,
team in order
you
to
get
get the person.
team. Now that team is on your team. That's the only way to get them. Because when you actually ask the individual, it won't work. So, like in that example, like Kawhi Leonard is not going to sign with the Phoenix Suns. But if he gets traded there, well, now you're stuck. Here you are. You know what I mean?
That just brought me to another thing.
What's that?
How come we don't make trades in sport karate?
Because I mean,
No.
I mean, maybe it could work. There's no reason why it couldn't.
Think about it. What if we are a professional sport and we want to hold ourselves?
No, we're not. We're an amateur sport.
Stop. We karate people talk about us in the professional breath. Why don't we have trades to our? Why don't we have trades to our sport? Think about it. Think about this. Alex, right now, because you and I have had this talk.
Ooh, the can of worms you opened.
You and I have had this talk personally off camera. Everyone gets about the same.
Everybody gets the same.
X's and O's may differ a little here and there.
Everybody's getting the same sponsorship. It just depends if someone's going to pick up your flight. That's the only difference.
So if everything's getting the same thing, how come we're not making trades? How come we can't trade for people? Oh, here we go.
Yep, Travis hit it right there on the head. Simple. The athletes aren't held by contracts. They can leave when they want. Exactly. So in this scenario,
but you just proved them right, Travis, because it's when they want. That's what Alex is saying. If they want to go to another team, okay, I get you.
But that's
I'm just saying.
Now, there are teams that try to say like, "No, we're going to sign a contract," which is pointless, right? It's like, come on, guys. You could kick me out of the team at any point, right?
I think it's pointless.
I could leave the team at any point, right? So this doesn't mean anything.
I think it's pointless because we don't take it serious as karate competitors. Like if we're signing a contract, there's no legal binding to that contract. You know what I mean? It's just a piece of paper that we said, yes, we commit to the team. Yes, we say to do this, this, and that. And if we don't, we're just gonna get kicked off. There's no fines. But again, Alex, you and I were on a team where if we did not show up on time to practice, if we didn't show up on that's AP.
Yes,
what's up, AP?
What's happening?
AP, I'm gonna see you in 2 weeks. I got you. You and I both know if we did not show up to practices on time or team meetings, we're getting fined.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Let's just call it what it is. This is a great one. I got to tell you, this is a funny story. So you're talking about Hayabusa, and I want to tell you this. This was fantastic. So this was a U.S. Open. So this is a funny story, and then we'll probably have to wrap up soon. So
got you.
Coach Conroy said, okay, we're going to meet out in front of the ballroom at the U.S. Open. This is at the Coronado Springs.
I think I know where this is going to go.
Get me a coffee. So I'm like, all right, no problem. I got to walk by the Pepper Market Grill. Everybody knows where the Pepper Market Grill is, right? And I walk by the Pepper Market Grill anyway, all right? So then, the line's always whatever the line is. So get the coffee. The problem is he said, we're in front of the ballroom. It's the biggest ballroom you've ever seen in your life. So I go and I'm walking. I can't remember. I think I was with Jeremy Francoeur and like Ross with Ross Cook, I think. And so I walked all the way down to the end. I didn't see nobody. I still got Coach's coffee. I walk all the way back. I don't see nobody. No, there was like a little side like alleyway. Like you were in front of it, I suppose. So I get there and oh man, did I get it? He was so pissed. He didn't allow me. I say it, but it's like, grown man, you do whatever you want. I'm like, whatever, I'll take it. Right? He's like, no, man, you're gonna stay in your uniform all day. Wait till the finals are done, then you can change. And I'm like, Coach, and he goes, no, you were late. Like, all right, because I knew like, all right, if I started being like, no, whatever, then it's like, what kind of point am I setting for everybody on the team? So it's all right, it's
Yep.
cool, whatever.
No, I
So
know because
yeah,
I was
if you're
late.
late by a little bit,
Listen,
whoo, buddy.
listen. Sam Gagnon said we have a team meeting at 10 a.m. Be at my room at 10 a.m. this time. And
Yeah.
me, I'm like the young rook. I'm the young buck. I'm following John. John's the vet. So I'm like, all right, let's go. And John's like, Angel, let's go. It's meeting 10, 9:59. We knock. We get in. I'm like, it's 10. We're here, right? He calls Coach Conroy. Coach Conroy ripped us. He said, "You get to this meeting 15 minutes early. What is wrong with you?" And I look at John and I go, "Come on, bro, you're the vet. Like you should have been know this. So I'm the young buck following you. How you gonna lead me and I get in trouble?" And I had to sit there and I just was like, "My bad, coach. That was my fault. All me, my fault." So I know.
So some of them will be like that, but look at we have high respect for Mike Conroy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if he does something like that to us, he knows he's earned our respect long before he ever says something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody gets traded to his team and he does that to them, they might not have the the stones to stick with that.
No, I get that.
But all this, we're gonna circle back because all this was talk about John Paul Mitchell is a form team that has a guy who sometimes fights. And so listen, I don't know. They got what if they got like 4 fighting coaches? They got Damon, they got Steve Babcock, they got Chris Rapold, they got Don Rodriguez.
And Jackson's now a part of player development.
Well, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
But what are we doing? I never. Can you imagine if you have 4 coaches for just you?
I would listen. If I don't listen to one of them, I know me. I'm probably not listening to the other 3, and I'm gonna get in trouble by all 4. So it's not working good for me.
I just don't see anything changing. I don't think they're that great as coaches. I don't see them doing anything different. I just think this is going to be the way it's going to be, man. And it's sad because I mean, you grew up. Who was one of your favorite fighters fighting for Paul Mitchell?
Oh, without a doubt, my favorite fighter that I saw coming up for Paul Mitchell was Damon Gilbert.
Damon Gilbert. Oh, because that's the time when you were okay. I get it. All right.
Because when I was coming up, I was watching. So Sam, when he was getting into NASCAR, was when Full Circle was around, and that's when Damon Gilbert was just coming out. That's when Wazaroo was around, and then Full Circle took over. So I saw Damon Gilbert fight a couple of times, and just as a Paul Mitchell fighter, that's like my favorite one to watch. I saw coming up.
And here's what I'm going to give, because I just said, I don't think their coaching staff is any good, and I'm just fully sincere that I think Damon Gilbert's one of the best fighters ever. I think and everybody talks about like his time with CJB and how great that was. No, I think his time as a Paul Mitchell fighter was his best, most skilled, most dominant. And he has been around fighting at that level for like ever, right?
Yeah, and the other person that I saw, man, that I really liked, and I would say Zolt if we were looking at all like the wins and everything, but I just feel like, man, Laszlo doesn't get enough credit sometimes, man. Laszlo, when I saw him in person, Jesus, that blitz was ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's why you say Timmy Serentudis. I'm like, what does Laszlo's blitz look like compared to his? Because, man, that
when
blitz
Laszlo
was ridiculously
fights,
fast.
Like it's deceptive. Like he'll fight, and he fights like he's like 5'8", but then you see him talk. When you see him, you're like 6'1".
The way he like scrunches down and
how
gets low,
how do you do that? You're like 6'1", but like when I fight you, I'm the big guy. Like I don't get this. That don't make sense. But it's the way he fights. Like he's freaking fast.
No, I definitely. Who was your favorite one?
Pedro.
I was gonna say everyone will say Pedro.
Man.
I'll tell you what.
And the watching Pedro was amazing, and I remember watching him beat Terry Kramer when he won his first diamond ring, and Terry Kramer was like here for me, right? And I'm like, man, because I just thought that Terry Kramer or that Pedro Xavier was like he was the best kicker that anybody ever saw, right?
Yeah.
But I think the stigma was, but can a lightweight kicker like that beat the heavyweights?
Beat
right?
heavyweight.
Can a lightweight kicker like that really beat everything? I mean, yes, they can. And then when that happened and he won his first diamond ring in 97, right? I'm like, dude, this is great. Right. But then in 98, Jotty was giving it to him. Right. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, he did. That's right.
He
That
beat
was when
AP.
they were
I never saw the footage. He beat AP.
Yeah, he did. When they were at the Civic Center, when JP was, when AP was on Team Elite. He's right. Wow. That's crazy. It wasn't
I did not
Terry.
know that.
It wasn't Terry. Terry was getting inducted to the Hall of Fame that day. It was AP. Look at this. What clutch. Thanks.
AP.
Look at
AP
that.
came in clutch. Hey, one person I did see, though, I will say, from my area, because I'm in Connecticut, I saw a lot of J.O. before he got on Paul Mitchell and once he got on Paul Mitchell.
Justin Ortiz he's one of the best.
Yeah. I saw a lot of J.O.
When I said, listen, I don't see anybody who's gotten better from being on Paul Mitchell. I think Justin
J.O.
Ortiz,
you can make a case.
I think that's the only exception.
You can make a case for
But
J.O.
I think Justin Ortiz, like, I don't think the Paul Mitchell vibe really affects him, right? If you look at it, right? Like, okay, right. All right, he's in the background. Travis has got a personality different than a lot of everybody else who just kind of exists at karate tournaments, right?
Yeah.
He's not like an extrovert like I am, right? That's what the Paul Mitchell team is. The Paul Mitchell team is like, we're right here, right? And so when you end up on the team, that's just what you are. Like, you're kind of like right here, right? Justin Ortiz just kind of like exists outside of that, right? All right. He's just like, yeah. You guys could just huddle up next to each other. I'm gonna go talk to literally everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you mean, because J.O. is, I mean, like I said, I saw J.O. before he was even on Full Circle. So like
he was on Mass Mall.
Before Mass Mall. I'm saying before. I remember J.O. is from Boston, like from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
He fought all the time in my area. So I saw J.O. coming up as a kid. I'm saying, like, I saw him when he was just with his dad's school. Then I saw him on Mass Mall. Then I saw him on Full Circle. And then I got to see him on JPM.
So what you're trying to say is you had the high school jersey too.
Yeah, like I saw J.O. But it's like crazy because in all seriousness, like as J.O. got up, you started seeing towards the end of the Paul Mitchell when he was fighting, he was starting to blitz a lot more than he was kicking.
He's over here. You're over here with the Justin Ortiz rookie card, like J.O.
Signed.
J.O.
So yeah, man. So that's someone else I also gotta say that I love watching like fight from JPM as a kid was just also J.O. because I saw him fight all the time.
Yep. I mean, I think for me it was Pedro and it was Mike P. That's what it was.
Mike P. Oh yeah, man, Mike P. I wish I could have seen him.
Dude, go back and watch some tape. Here's a fight you want to watch, a good one. Watch him and Brian Ruth in '96. If you can find it, if he can be found. Wally Faulkner, that's who we should get the next person on. Dude, we gotta go. We're like over. You and I could do.
My bad.
15
we could do this. Yeah, we could. We could go back and forth,
man. Wow, good hanging, brother. All right, so the Super Show's over, is what you're saying.
Super Show's over. Today was the last day. We're done. So I fly back tomorrow. We gotta do some tournaments this weekend and everything, and then I'll be on with you guys next week with Jeff.
You're gonna do like a vlog of everything from the shows? I know Kaylin Kowalski.
That's Kaylin. That's Kaylin does the vlog.
Kaylin's all about that. I can't wait to see.
Kaylin got the vlogs on point, man.
Yeah, she does. All right, yeah, you're gonna be on next week. That's gonna be a good one.
Yes.
All right. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman, but I'm
Angel Diaz.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.